DreamWorks movies have definitely left their mark on generations with some truly incredible stories. But did you know there are some bizarre fan theories about the biggest Disney competitor that could completely ruin your childhood? Night Fury. There's a pretty dark theory surrounding Toothless, the Night Fury from How to Train Your Dragon. According to this theory, the Night Fury may have been directly or indirectly responsible for the extinction of several other dragon species. Yes, Toothless, that cute little dragon who loves fish and head scratches. Turns out, he might have a much darker past than we imagined. The theory says the Night Fury isn't just a separate species. It's actually an advanced evolution of other, more common dragons, designed to hunt dragons. And the evidence? Pretty chilling. First, the speed. It's insane, and that would be a huge advantage when hunting. Second, the firepower. While other dragons shoot short, direct bursts of flame, Toothless launches full-on fireballs with long-range precision, perfect for taking down prey before even being seen. And speaking of seeing, his eyes face forward, unlike most other dragons whose eyes are on the sides of their heads. In the animal kingdom, that's a classic predator trait, meaning he was born to hunt. And in the third movie, he even learns how to turn invisible, making him practically undetectable during an aerial hunt. So yeah, Toothless may have evolved as the ultimate predator in the dragon world, and that could have contributed over time to the disappearance of many species. Behind the fun stories and the laughs, these movies hide details that make us wonder what else is lurking in the shadows of these animated worlds. So stick with us, and let's dive into another video. Kung Fu Panda. If you think you've heard all the crazy movie theories out there, hold on tight, because this one's about to blow your mind. In the Kung Fu Panda franchise, we follow Po, a cute panda with some pretty awesome martial arts skills, who suddenly discovers he's a true Kung Fu master. So far, so good. But have you ever stopped to wonder about something really weird in this universe? Where are all the humans? The world of Kung Fu Panda is populated only by animals with human-like behavior. They talk, walk, fight, and meditate. And here's where the wildest and most brilliant theory comes in. The first Kung Fu masters were humans, that's right. According to this theory, ancient humans mastered a technique so powerful that it allowed them to transform into animals, and in doing so, absorb the abilities of those creatures. And there's more. In an episode of the series Kung Fu Panda, Legends of Awesomeness, there's an ancestral spirit shown that's a shapeshifter. That just makes this theory even more convincing. What happened next? Well, these masters fell in love with animal life, with heightened instincts, incredible reflexes, and they just stayed that way. They started living, loving, and even reproducing as animals. But here's the creepy part. Their kids were born fully animal with 100% animal DNA, never human. The result? Humanity slowly went extinct by choice. Puss in Boots. In Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, death is portrayed in a terrifying and surprising way. No black cloak or shiny scythe here. Instead, death shows up as a wolf, with glowing red eyes and a cold, piercing stare. But why a wolf? A lot of fans have come up with theories to explain it. The most popular one says the choice of a wolf isn't random. It actually makes perfect sense in the world of cats. For cats, their biggest natural enemy is dogs, and the wolf, being the wild ancestor of all dogs, is the ultimate predator to represent death in Puss's life. While for us humans, death is often shown as a mysterious hooded figure. For a cat, death has claws, sharp teeth, and howls in the dark. In fairy tales, wolves almost always show up as villains. The big bad wolf who eats grandma, the one who blows down the three little pigs' house, the one who chases Little Red Riding Hood. So, the deeper theory is that this wolf isn't just death. He's the embodiment of Puss in Boots' greatest fear. Princess Fiona. In Shrek, Princess Fiona was locked away in the tallest tower of a castle sitting inside a volcano, guarded by a dragon. So far, so fairy tale. But one question still haunts fans to this day. What did she eat all that time? That question opened the door to a bunch of wild theories and weirdly genius observations. First, inside the castle, there's a giant cauldron and a cookbook called Nightly Treats. Coincidence? Don't think so. Let's look at the facts. At the end of the first movie, we clearly see that the dragon has a thing for well-cooked Lord Farquaad. So, it's safe to assume she didn't exactly have the patience for fine cooking. And there's more. The bones scattered around the tower raise a, let's say, flavorful theory. Fiona may have turned carnivorous and fed on the poor knights who tried to rescue her, grilled up by the dragon, who apparently had some serious chef skills. And don't forget, in the kingdom of far, far away, humans believe ogres eat human flesh. And if Fiona was turning into an ogre every night, maybe her taste buds changed too, from delicate princess to full-on medieval master chef, with a side of cannibal twist. Before we continue with the 10 DreamWorks movie theories, drop a comment below saying, "Curious Hiccup." And since we're already diving into crazy, but really good theories, here's another one. What if How to Train Your Dragon and Game of Thrones actually take place in the same universe? Hold on, this isn't just some random fan delusion. Well, maybe it is, but it's a delusion with some solid reasoning. A lot of people believe that Hiccup could be a direct ancestor of Daenerys Targaryen, or at least of some long-lost family member. Think about it. He's the first human of his era to ride and control dragons like giant pets, exactly like the mother of dragons does in Westeros. Coincidence? Or genetic inheritance? Now you might be thinking, but Hiccup has brown hair, nothing like the Targaryens, who are all platinum blonde from birth. Slow down, Sherlock. You're forgetting about Astrid, Hiccup's wife. At the end of the saga, they have a child. And guess what? The kid has silver hair. There you go. The origin of the Targaryen family line. And there's more. Hiccup's family emblem, the symbol he wears on his clothes, looks a lot like the Targaryen house sigil. And if that's not enough for you, here's another bombshell. The Game of Thrones director himself has said he was inspired by How to Train Your Dragon for some of the dragon scenes. So maybe the Iron Throne only exists because someone, long ago, tamed a dragon named Toothless. Just imagine Drogon learning tricks for a fishy treat. Shark Tale. In the movie Shark Tale, there's one little detail most people overlook, but it's definitely weird. The underwater city in the movie looks a lot like New York City. Giant skyscrapers, LED panels, billboards everywhere. But here's the interesting part. Right there, between the buildings, there's a fast food joint called Fish King. Now think about this with me. In New York, we've got Burger King selling burgers. So down at the bottom of the ocean, would Fish King be selling fish? Wait, but isn't this a city of fish? Are they eating each other? Sure, we know that in nature there are fish that eat other fish, but showing this like it's fast food? That's, at the very least, unsettling. So who's ending up as the daily special? Sardines? Tuna? Or maybe some random background fish that signed a contract without reading the fine print? The penguins of Madagascar. Who doesn't remember the penguins of Madagascar? Rico, Skipper, Private, and Kowalski. 4 highly trained penguins, genius strategists, and with a slight obsession for top-secret military ops. But what if I told you these cute little penguins aren't just funny? They're actually the result of a top-secret government experiment? Hold on, take a breath, and listen to this theory. According to some fans, these penguins were part of ultra-classified experiments that boosted their intelligence to unnatural levels. That would explain why they communicate with military precision, have espionage skills, and are able to pilot planes, break into bases, and even pull off an escape plan with just a spoon and a chewed-up piece of gum. That's not normal. Not even for humans, let alone penguins. And you know what makes this theory even stronger? Their obsession with not being seen. They're always telling each other to just smile and wave, like they're trying to hide something. And there's one specific scene where they try to escape the zoo, and a mysterious code flashes on the screen. In that code, there's a strange phrase. What a piece of work is this penguin? A clear reference to Shakespeare's Hamlet, where the character reflects on human existence, freedom, and, well, existential crises. So maybe these penguins are reflecting on something way deeper than we ever imagined. They're not just secret agents. They're victims of a system that used them, discarded them, and now they just want to break free. And now is the perfect time for anyone who's not subscribed yet to hit that subscribe button. That way, you won't miss any of the channel's latest updates. The extinction of the ogres. Throughout all 4 Shrek movies, there's always been one big unanswered question. Where's Shrek's family? We never meet his parents, siblings, cousins, nothing. And that opened the door for some pretty curious and downright bizarre theories. One of the strangest clues is actually inside Shrek's own home. He's got a full-on collection of eyeballs, like they're decorations or snacks. And some people believe this was a family tradition, meaning Shrek's family had such weird eating habits that, over time, they ended up eating each other. Yup, according to this theory, ogres went extinct because they became their own dinner. One big family barbecue that went way out of control. But not everyone agrees with that. There's another more emotional theory that says ogres disappeared because they always lived isolated, hidden away from the rest of the world. They didn't build relationships, didn't form communities, and that's why they never reproduced. In the end, they just slowly faded away. The Boss Baby. The Boss Baby is one of DreamWorks' biggest hits. Suit-wearing babies, secret board meetings, and a theory that might change everything you thought you understood. Some fans believe that the Boss Baby never really happened. That's right, the whole thing might just be a dream made up inside little Tim's mind. And honestly, the evidence is stronger than it seems. In the scene where Tim's parents put him to bed, they ask, "Would you like to have a baby brother?" And he answers with a big, loud no. And that's when everything kicks off. Many believe that from that moment on, Tim falls into a crazy dream, where a mysterious baby shows up wearing a suit, talking like an adult, and causing all sorts of chaos. Now pay attention. Right next to Tim's bed, sitting on his dresser, there's a toy tower. And it looks ridiculously similar to the Baby Corp headquarters where all the executive babies work. Coincidence? Or just his imagination doing its thing? Makes sense, right? After all, the whole movie universe is exaggerated, surreal, and totally unrealistic for an ordinary kid. Babies flying planes, secret missions, battles with adorable puppies. Sounds way more like a jealous kid's wild dream, terrified of losing his parents' love. Doolock. After Lord Farquaad's death, a lot of people kept wondering, what happened to Doolock? After all, the city showed up completely wrecked and almost deserted in the miniseries. Some fans believe that the magical creatures decided to get revenge after the Lord fell. Think about it. If Lord Farquaad had simply left, retired, or maybe become a monk, someone else would have taken the throne and the city would have kept going. After all, Doolock was an organized city with a stable economy and everything running smoothly. But here's what really left everyone puzzled. Doolock's depopulation doesn't seem to have been from natural causes. Most of the time, cities get abandoned after natural disasters or military invasions. And if it wasn't a regular army, who invaded? That's where the theory picks up steam. Angry, magical creatures. Remember that Doolock's citizens reported the magical creatures? That could have sparked a full-on rebellion, a true uprising of fairies, elves, ogres, and so on. So, are these crazy theories just the result of fans' wild imaginations? Or do they hide truths that slipped under everyone's radar? If you love the world of Bluey and animated shows, we've got 2 really cool videos you're gonna love watching next. Thanks for hanging out with us, and see you next time.